What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode to the Galaxy Pod, hosted by yours truly, Slim, coming to you today after yesterday's pretty interesting trade deadline. What a day it was for sure. Definitely seen some interesting moves that were made to help teams out there with championship aspirations for sure. Yeah, it was one heck of a day, but nothing too crazy happened. But it was definitely some key moves made out there for sure. You had Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington getting transitioned over to the Mavericks. Those are nice additions. And then you had Gordon Hayward going to the Thunder. That's pretty nice. But yeah, what a day it was for sure. Some interesting moves were made. That should definitely help those teams. Yeah, but with that being said, let's jump right into it to discuss the Warriors. They have done something that has not been done in a long time this season. With that being said, nonetheless, they deserve a round of applause, so let's do that for them for quite a second. For the first time in a long time, the Golden State Warriors have won more than 2 games in a row. The Warriors have won 5 of their last 6 games, 3 wins by at least 20 points. Definitely quite impressive, despite the circumstances that was at hand. I mean, we did play the Sixers without Joel Embiid. Injured himself the last time we played them at Chase Center, so yeah, we played them and we beat them by like 20 or higher, but yeah, nonetheless, a win is a win. So yeah, just had to give them a round of applause. First time in a long time that they have done that. Overall, we went 4-1 on this road trip. Quite impressive to say the least. Definitely thought we could have went 5-0. We lost a tough game to the Hawks in OT. A lot of circumstances in that game as well. Kuminga had got fouled out. Despite Steph going crazy that game, he dropped a 60-piece with 10 threes, and it was a performance, was it? Nonetheless, he performed as he knew would do. But yeah, speaking of Steph, he's been so amazing on this road trip. He's been unreal. He had performances, as I mentioned. He dropped a 60-point game against the Hawks. He had 29 points against Brooklyn, and he just dropped 42 points last night against the Indiana Pacers. Well, excuse me, not last night, the previous night when I dropped this video, which was on a Thursday night. So, yeah, 42 points to go along with 11 threes, and his shot making was tough. Like, the degree of difficulty of the shots he was making was just unreal. He just do such a good job of making it look so easy. And you can say, like, to a certain extent that some of us still take Steph for granted, like to be able to watch him put on greatness and do the things that he's still doing at this age is just quite impressive. Like, as I mentioned, no lie, I definitely didn't have Steph dropping another 60-point game in his career before it was all said and done, but he went out there and did it. So just a testament to his greatness and his work ethic, and that, you know, he'll do whatever it takes to win, despite us losing that game. But yeah, you gotta get this man his flowers, and with all due respect, like, there's no way that this guy's not an all-star starter, but he's not one. Like, I know it's a lot that play a factor into that as far as like records and, you know, things like that. But if you look at the other guys besides SGA, that's understandable. But Luka, to be exact, like Luka, the Dallas Mavericks team record is not that much better than the Warriors in a sense of ways, if you know what I mean. Like, the standings is not like too far away from each other. Like, I think the Mavericks is in the 7th or 8th seed and we're like in the 11th, so that's not too far away, but it's all cool. Steph probably ended up playing more than Luka, so yeah. But Steph, he's been beyond amazing on this road trip, so shout out to him for leading the way for us to finish this out 4-1. One heck of a road trip for sure. And yeah, gotta give a shout out to my guy Wiggs too. He's been looking way better as of late. Offensively, to be exact, defensively, you know, he's been pretty good all season, but he's coming to his own. Just being more aggressive, being more assertive offensively, going out there looking for his own shot, and, you know, just, you know, feeling himself back again, like the year we won a championship. And for us to compete for a championship, you know, he has to get back to that level, or anything close to that level, we'll take it at this point. But yeah, shout out to him. When we played the Sixers this past, Tuesday or Wednesday, he had like 20-some points and 10 rebounds. So a nice sight to see for sure. So if he keep doing what he's doing, we'll keep stacking the wins one game at a time. So yeah, shout out to Wiggs, man, for sure. And my guy JK, Jonathan Kuminga, he just keep getting better and better every game. This month, if I'm not mistaken, he's averaging like 20 points, being on this stretch with the likes of Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, all those guys. Kuminga has entered the conversation with those guys as far as like his performance as of late these past 2 months. The numbers he has been putting up has been beyond spectacular, and it's just a testament to his work ethic, being humble, staying patient, and just being ready when his number was called upon. So shout out to Kuminga. I mean, we definitely wouldn't have won any of these games without him and his spectacular performance. For sure, he's dead ass legit been our second best scorer, no doubt about it, besides Steph. So Steph 1, then Kuminga 2. So yeah, just a nice sight to see for sure. He keep working the way he has. He definitely have All-Star, All-NBA, you name it, all across his career moving forward. So yeah, Kuminga, he's figured it out for sure. And the crazy thing about a guy like Kuminga is that he's so young and talented that moving forward, he's only going to get better. So yeah, shout out to JK. But yeah, speaking of young guys, Podge the Rook, what a performance he has been putting up as of late. You know what's so crazy, that Podge, he haven't even been shooting the ball well. But that's why it's important to watch games, because most guys would look at the box score and say, oh, Podge shot terrible, this, that, and the other. But in reality, his impact is felt. Like, you gotta give guys like Podge his flowers at an early age and praise, because I don't know too many young guys who come into the league doing what he does, like putting his body on the line, taking charges, fighting hard for rebounds, diving for loose balls, you name it. Like, he's so effective, and he don't even have to shoot the ball well or score the ball well. So just a testament to him and his work ethic, and also how he know how to affect the game without scoring. Like, it reminds you so much of Draymond in a sense of ways. But yeah, I'm impressed with what I've been seeing from Podge this whole season. Like, I knew us getting him, he could definitely help in some ways. Watching him perform in Summer League, I knew some things would definitely translate. And yeah, but I also got to give him his props on his rebound. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know the direct rank as far as the team, as far as rebounding goes, but I think we're a top 5 rebounding team. And guys like Podge have a huge part to play in that, because if you think about it, like, he's like our third leading rebounder on this team, and he's a guard. And that says a lot, because we have some guys on this team who can rebound. But for him to be the third leading rebounder says a lot for sure. And I had made a tweet when we played in Brooklyn this past Monday. I said, guys like Podge is the reason that we're a great rebounding team. I mean, for me, he gave me the impression that it's hard over hype, which I love to see. Like, I love to have a guy like Podge on my team battling for each and every possession, trying to go out there and get the rebound. Especially when you look at it from his size, like, he don't get disgruntled to things like that. If he see a bigger guy, he's going to go out there and battle. So you can respect that for sure with a guy like him. He has a high motor. He's a gamer. He just, he gets out there. So you have to give him his props. So yeah, shout out to Podge. Definitely a reason that we're a top rebounding team for sure. And yeah, continuing speaking of the young guys, Lester Quinones and G Santos sighting. During this road trip, those guys have both played huge roles into helping us win each and every game that we all won. And you have to give them their props as well. Like, G Santos, he had an amazing performance last night. He had like 13 points, 8 rebounds. Excuse me, not last night, Thursday night. He had 13 points, 8 rebounds, like 2 for 2 from 3-point range, but his impact was felt. You have to appreciate guys like that, being as young as he is, and just getting after it, getting down on the floor, getting scrappy, whatever you want to call it. But you have to give him his props. And Lester, he's been huge as well, just pretty much doing the same thing, getting us a lot of second chance opportunities, playmaking, scoring the ball, whatever you need. He's been great defensively too. So yeah, the young guys have definitely been doing their thing. Nice to see we got Moody back when we played the Nets. He's been pretty solid in his minutes that have been played. So yeah, that covers the road trip aspect of this. The past one we just had. Overall, went 4-1, so couldn't ask for nothing better, I'd say. But yeah, shout out to the young guys. Shout out to Wiggs for figuring out. As always, shout out to 30 for holding it down and leading the way, for sure. But yeah, speaking of trades, the Warriors did make a small move to acquire a draft pick. We traded guard Corey Joseph to the Indiana Pacers, and we got a second-round pick in cash consideration. Now, in saying this, trading Corey Joseph not only saved the Warriors $3.2 million in cash, but it also freed up $13.5 million from their looming tax bill this summer. For those of you who don't really know what that means, that's huge. I know that we only was paying Cojo the minimum, but for us to free up around $13 million looming into the tax bill is beyond huge. So yeah, with Cojo, shout out to him. I know it hasn't been the best season for him, for this team, and he had to be the one to go, but I think it was only right. Like, the fans hate this guy. Like, I'm not one to hate him, but I can understand where their frustration comes towards him. But my advice was that you gotta always keep in mind, same thing with Dario. It's not these players' fault that the coach putting them in these positions. Like, there was a time, and never in my life thought I'd see this. We had Corey Joseph, CP3, Steph, Clay, and I think Dario or Trace at the 5. That's a ridiculous lineup. Like, we had 4 guards out there. But once again, it's not Corey's fault that he's being thrown out there like that. It's Steve's fault, Just call it how it is. But yeah, shout out to Corey. Hey, it is what it is. Business part of the NBA. Tough gig for sure. Yeah, from my understanding, since he's been with the Warriors, he's just been a professional. So, hey, shout out to him. He ultimately got waived, but hey, he still get paid. But yeah, speaking of us trading him, we did get a pick, and in my opinion, that's huge because going into this upcoming draft, we didn't have a draft pick at all. So us getting a second round, no matter the value of it, it's huge. I mean, you go look at our track history as far as like late second round, Draymond Green. Look at the career he's turned out to have, right? Trace Jackson Davis, he's had, first season he had his moments. You can see the potential. Just got to keep working and getting consistent reps and minutes. So, yeah, let's get in the second round pick. I'm sure we can find some type of sleeper pick, that'll help us win some games next season. And heck, even blossom into a huge rotational piece for us. So, yeah. Yep. So that's that on that end. As far as like the Warriors making trades, I honestly thought we wasn't gonna make any because we were so close. That trade happened at the buzzer actually, but yeah. Moving on to Draymond Green, his importance of this team. We're really figuring it out, and Draymond has a huge part to do with that. Steph, Clay, Kuminga, Wiggs, Dre. Draymond Green has been back as a starter. Overall, we have been 5-2. That's tied second in that span. We're generating around 126 points per game. That's second. We were ranked number 1 in assists. We generating around 30 assists a game. And our defense efficiency is 108.6, which is third. All in 7 game spans, by the way. So, yeah, just shout out to Dre for, coming back and having his impact felt on both ends. You could definitely, see it, you can feel it, however you want to go about it. But his impact I've been feeling, and shout out to him, is very frustrating because imagine if he would have never got suspended, how things would have looked up to this point. I'm sure it would have definitely been better for sure. But yeah, we starting to figure things out, and that's what I love to see. I'm not gonna get too ahead of myself and say that's a scary sight. We can compete for a championship, etc., etc. But just taking one game at a time and just trying to get better and, figuring things out. So the last 10 games, we have been the best team in the league. So that's something that I'm going to run with and just make the best of it for sure. And with that being said, we're getting reinforcement back soon. GP2, he may be back as soon as the Phoenix game Saturday. And CP3, he'll be back, I'm sure, after the All-Star break. So we get those guys back, try to get some set rotations, keep building chemistry and just try to take one game at a time and, being the best version of themselves. So, yeah. Shout out to Dre for sure. His impact has been felt. All right. With the Warriors now, previewing the Suns game that we're about to play this upcoming Saturday. Nonetheless, it should be an interesting one / must win. The reason I say that because the Suns are up on us 3 games. They beat us on opening night. And the last 2 times we've been to Phoenix, they beat us. So with that being said, we got to get one game off them, Don't get me wrong, despite the circumstances that was at hand, I understand that. With Draymond getting ejected that game when he hit Nurkic and then key guys out, I can understand it. So, but yeah, we should definitely win for sure. The Suns, they made some moves at the trade deadline. They acquired Ross O'Neal. That's a huge pickup for them. A wing that can shoot, defend, he can pass the ball. So, yeah, perfect guy to pair alongside scorers like Book, Bill, and KD. So, yeah, I like that addition for them. And they also made some more moves, but that's the one I just could think of right now. So, yeah, should be a good game. We're going to be at Chase Center. So, yeah, you got to make the best of it and get after it for sure. Clay going to be back. He didn't play in the last game against the Pacers, but he'll be back. So, yeah. So we play the Suns. Yeah, after the Suns, we play the Jazz, the Clippers, and then we play the Jazz again. At best, I say we can go 3-1, right? 3-1. Let's say in the next upcoming 4 games, we can go 3-1. The only loss may come against the Clippers, I'd say. But we could definitely beat the Suns, and we could definitely beat the Jazz 2 times, in my opinion. So, yeah. But at worst, 2-2 at worst, right? Yeah. I say we could split it, but we should definitely look to try to, get as much wins as possible, despite the circumstances. But, yeah, just had to recap on the Warriors, man. Just give my input on this past road trip and whatnot, but yeah, we're getting reinforcement back soon. GP2 and CP3 coming back. We didn't make no major moves. We made a small move to get a draft pick, but I'll take it. So for what I've been hearing, these guys are motivated to go out there, get guys healthy, and go out there and compete with the best of them. So we'll see how it goes. The Warriors fan going to always keep the faith. But yeah, with that being said, like the video. Comment something positive, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you won't miss any more of this great content moving forward. And with that being said, we out. Peace.